Dexter and You are two of my favorite shows, both containing complex anti-heroes. And there are actually quite a few similarities between the two shows. Both shows center on charismatic protagonists who lead double lives, blending charm with dark impulses. There are several parallels between both You and Dexter, and both shows explore the psychology of serial killers who justify their actions. So if you're a fan of Dexter and you've never seen Netflix's You, you will definitely enjoy it, but today let's get into some of the similarities. I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. So like I already said, both of these shows contain complex anti-heroes. While Dexter Morgan is a forensic analyst and vigilante serial killer, Joe Goldberg is a bookstore manager and an obsessive stalker. But both are morally ambiguous leads who justify their actions. Dexter kills criminals to satisfy his dark passenger, while Joe eliminates perceived threats, usually to protect his romantic obsessions. But both of these characters elicit viewer empathy despite their crimes, although I will argue that I do have far more empathy for Dexter. Dexter really does take out the trash, meanwhile, Joe kills people who don't necessarily deserve it. And both Dexter and Joe do live dual lives. Dexter hides his killing behind a normal life as a family man, a co-worker, while Joe conceals his stalking and murders under the guise of a cultured, caring intellectual. Both maintain facades to avoid suspicion. And both of them do sort of operate under a code. Dexter follows a strict code to target only those he deems deserving. This is a code that was given to him by his father. And Joe does also tell himself that he's killing sort of for the greater good, but he kills innocent people throughout the show. So, like I said earlier, I definitely have a lot more empathy for Dexter. I will say probably the biggest similarity between the two shows is that both of these characters have an inner monologue. Each of these shows uses voiceovers to reveal the protagonist's thoughts, which does offer insight into their rationalizations and psychological depth, which does make viewers complicit in their perspectives. In fact, Marco Siega worked on both shows. He worked on Dexter and You. He was a recurring director for Dexter, and he was also an executive producer on season 1 of You, and I believe he also directed some episodes in the final season, season 5. He has noted that the voiceover technique in You was inspired by Dexter. Another similarity between these two main characters is that they both wear a baseball cap for disguise. When both of them are stalking their victims, their disguise of choice is a baseball cap, which I think is actually kind of hilarious because it really doesn't do that much to disguise you. There also is a Dexter reference in season 2 of You. Joe's love interest says something to him like, "Who are you, Dexter?"
And that you're basically Dexter.
Another similarity between the two, in my opinion, is their parents sort of creating them. So we know in Dexter that Harry Morgan essentially created Dexter. He gave him the code to live by and to operate by. And Harry Morgan essentially convinced Dexter that he was always going to be a serial killer. He put these thoughts in his head. And Joe's mother convinces him that he's good. And this kind of sticks with him into his adulthood. When he is killing people, innocent people, he tells himself through it all he's good, and that's how he rationalizes who he kills. Another similarity between Dexter and Joe is that they both fall in love with a woman who is essentially like him. In Dexter season 2, he falls in love with Lila, who is also a serial killer, and then in season 7, he falls in love with Hannah, who has a lot of similarities to him. She has a dark side. And in the show You, Joe falls in love with the character Love. And both Dexter and Joe either kill these women eventually or attempt to kill them. So it's interesting that when they find someone who is pretty much like them, they feel the need to kill them. I recently rewatched both of these shows, and another similarity that I found is both Dexter and Joe suffer from short-term memory loss, briefly. In season 4 of Dexter, he has a brand new baby, he's barely sleeping, and when it comes time for him to dispose of one of his victims, he doesn't have enough time to get rid of the body. So he does something with the body, he hides it momentarily, And when he's in his car driving home, he falls asleep at the wheel and he crashes his car, and then he's suffering from memory loss and he can't remember where he put the body. And something similar happens in You. In season 2 of You, he can't remember what happened to Delilah. He finds Delilah dead and he can't remember if he did it himself or what happened to her. And spoiler alert for season 4, but there's a serial killer going around and he's trying to figure out who it is. And then the plot twist at the end is that it was him all along, and he, like, I don't know, was blacking out, couldn't remember what he was doing. So the fact that You definitely took inspiration from Dexter for the inner monologue, I wonder if they took inspiration in other ways as well. In the final season of You, in season 5, he does say at one point, "It felt good to rid the world of assholes," which definitely just made me think of Dexter, because that is what Dexter was doing for years, ridding the world of bad people. I think if Joe ever met Dexter, he would probably think that they're fairly similar. He would think that they are both doing the exact same thing, ridding the world of bad people. But honestly, I think Dexter is who Joe wishes that he was. Joe tries to justify what he does, but at his core, he is simply just an evil person. Dexter would never intentionally hurt someone that he loves, but Joe ends up doing that every single time. In fact, if Dexter knew about Joe, Joe would actually end up on Dexter's table. I definitely think both of these shows challenge viewers to question morality. Dexter's victims are bad, but his methods are brutal. And Joe's actions stem from a warped sense of love, blurring lines between right and wrong. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Do you think that there are a lot of similarities between the two shows, Dexter and You? And which of these anti-heroes do you have more empathy for? I definitely think Dexter is actually doing what he says he's doing, ridding the world of bad people. While Joe tries to convince himself of this, he isn't doing that. He is ridding the world of innocent people, and in the end, I do think that he got what he deserves. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will see you guys next time.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.